Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Kara Kinsey, and I'm the program coordinator for our public administration major here at UWGB. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about our major. I also want to tell you a little bit about the two certificate programs that we have that don't go, or that are not part of our major, but that overlap really well with the curriculum. And so they're really natural things for the public administration students to complete as well. So what is public administration? Public administration at its very most basic is the creation and implementation of public policy, but that's a pretty high level definition, so I'd like to break it down for you a little bit further. Our major is really for those people that are interested in doing public service. It focuses on public or governmental and nonprofit organizations and the work that they do to keep our communities happy, healthy, safe, and functioning. So it's really a degree for people that are interested in working in organizations that aren't just focused on a profit motive, but are focused on some sort of mission or purpose. So the management component is how do we run these organizations effectively and efficiently, and what skills and competencies do we need in these organizations that we don't maybe need in a more general management context. But it's also nested in values like democracy and citizenship. So what classes do I take if I'm a public administration major? And I'm actually going to go right into the list of classes because it's easier to explain looking at. So if you're a public administration major, you're going to have one of two areas of emphasis. You're either going to be an emergency management student or a public and nonprofit management student. The first chunk of classes that you take in either emphasis are the same. So you have some introductory supporting classes as well as a statistics class, and don't be scared of the statistics class. It's really not so bad. But this is where you're going to differ between the two areas of emphases. So our public and nonprofit management emphases is really going to help you build the skills and competencies that you would need as a public and nonprofit manager, excuse me. So you'll take a management class, and then you're going to get more specialized in things like human resources and risk management, policy analysis, budgeting, and program evaluation. You're also going to take some upper level electives. You're going to complete one of these upper level analytic thinking classes, as well as you take 5 classes within this general area. And there's a pretty wide degree of choice there. And then we have a recommended capstone, which I do not see listed on here. But we have a capstone that focuses on ethics. Again, in emergency management, your initial classes are very similar, but your upper level core is going to be different. In the case of emergency management, you're going to take classes related to emergency management. You also take one of these analytic methods classes as well, and then you also have an upper set of 5 electives, but you have choice, but it's going to differ a little bit from the other emphases. We also have 2 certificate programs that you can complete when you're completing your public administration major, or you can complete these when you're a different major. They can be standalone certificates, and you can do that in nonprofit management or emergency management. What a certificate is it's really a credential that you take when you leave the university to help signal to an employer that you've taken a core set of classes in a particular area and that you could be considered more of an expert in this area than if you were just a general student in public administration. Some of the things that make public administration unique. One of the things that we do really well, and what I want to emphasize in this quick discussion, is that our students are really getting hands-on experience when they complete our major. We really believe that high impact practices, in particular experiential learning, which is just a really fancy way of saying hands-on experience, is important to the development of our students and really important for them to take the things that we're doing in the classroom and understand how they exist in the real world. So in many of our classes, we built in these experiences. So for example, I teach our management class, and my students this semester are completing a management analysis with an organization of their choice, which means they're working with the management of a particular organization to understand that organization from the perspective of different management competencies. Also, a number of our students complete internships or independent studies and honors projects. And finally, one thing that I think is really great for our students is that there are lots of opportunities to conduct applied research with our faculty members. Our faculty members, the faculty that teach in the core of public administration, all of us conduct applied research in addition to teaching in service to the university. And students have the opportunity to engage in that research. And it's really fantastic, not only from the perspective of the faculty member to have a student engaged in your work, but our students have really said that they valued these experiences and they've learned a lot. Brings me to the next point. What does a public administrator do? Well, the first thing that this degree might do is prepare you for graduate school. We have a number of students that go on to complete master's degrees or even PhDs, and this is a really good degree for that because of its applied analytic thinking focus. But if you don't want to go to graduate school, that's okay. There's a number of other things that you can do. Namely, you're going to be working in a governmental organization or a nonprofit organization. So obviously, there's a wide range within that as well. Nonprofit organizations have a number of different mission areas. I've listed a few of them here. But really, if you are interested in organizations that work towards a cause, you can then specialize in a cause that's interesting to you. Alternatively, you can work for government or a public entity and do a number of things. You could be a budget analyst, you could be a city clerk, you could conduct research for a public entity, you could evaluate programs. I mean, there's really a plethora of jobs that you can complete. And that's where that experiential learning is really nice too, because a lot of students have used their experiences in the classroom and the relationships that they build when they're doing these experiences, and they've turned these into careers once they move out of the program and graduate from the university. So if you have any questions about public administration, feel free to reach out and send me an email. And I hope that you enjoyed learning about the major very briefly.